Om Sai Ram children, this is Paati. I have a story for you. The name of the story is The Man Who Rode the Tiger. There was once a fearsome tiger who used to terrorize and make the people so frightened in a little village. One night, the tiger was prowling around the village when a terrible storm broke out. The tiger decided to shelter against the wall of a small hut. Inside the hut lived an old woman. She was very unhappy as the rain was coming in through the holes in her roof. She cried and moaned at the top of her voice. "This continual dripping is terrible. It is the worst thing that has ever happened to me," she screamed. "I would rather face a herd of angry elephants than this continual dripping of water." The tiger thought, "My goodness, this continual dripping of water must be a terrible monster if she thinks that it is worse than a herd of angry elephants." And the tiger became very frightened and crouched closer to the wall of the hut. Meanwhile, the old woman inside started dragging the furniture around so it would not get wet, and she did it and made a terrible rumbling and screeching sound as she moved the furniture. When the tiger heard this, he thought that must be the sound of continual dripping, and he shivered and shook right down to his bones, not knowing what was worse, the thunder and lightning on the outside or the continual dripping on the inside. Now, it so happened that one of the local men in the village was looking for his donkey, which had broken loose and run off during the storm. When he saw the tiger crouching against the wall of the hut in the dark, he thought it was his donkey that had broken loose and run off into the storm. He rushed up to it in a rage, tied a rope around its neck, and started beating it with a stick and shouting, "Ah, now I have you, you wretched animal! How dare you run away and make me come out in the storm to find you?" The man pulled the tiger away from the wall, jumped on his back, beat him with his stick, and shouted, "Now giddy up home, you bad, bad donkey." The tiger, who had never been treated in this way before, obediently did as he was told. This must be the continual dripping, he thought. The old woman was right. It is indeed terrible. When the man got home, he tied the tiger to the porch, went inside to his wife and said, "When you get up in the morning, you will be pleased and surprised to see what I have brought home and tied to the front porch." In the morning, the wife was indeed surprised, and so were all the neighbors, who said, "Hooray for the man who rode the tiger. He is the bravest man in the whole village." When the man finally came out and saw what he did ride home and tie to the front porch, he was shocked, fainted flat on his back. As for the tiger, he gnawed through the rope and ran back into the jungle and never ever came back to frighten all the villagers again. So, the lesson here is to learn that sometimes truth can be distorted, and you as children must try and look for the truth in all situations. In other words, they say you cannot judge a book by its cover, or appearances can be deceptive as well. For example, when you are sleeping in the bed at night, a pile of clothes can look like a strange creature until you turn the light on. So thank you for listening, and goodbye.